Hi, I'm the Two Tip Lady, and I love giving tips to help make life more simple. Do you feel like if you had to kick lots of sugar out of your diet, that it would be just like having to drink bitter lemon juice? Ugh. Well, I'm preaching to me today, because I love that sweet stuff, and I bet you do too. And if I want to get rid of inflammation and avoid possible diabetes and not have to get the next stress size up, then I need to talk with myself. Again, today. But I'll let you listen if you like. Do you want a story I heard a while ago? Here it comes. Once upon a time, not so very long ago, in Indonesia, there was a man who was working for the national people there. He just loved pineapples. There's nothing wrong with eating pineapples, but there were no supermarkets, and he didn't have any in his garden, so he paid the nationals to help him plant a big pineapple patch. Pineapples take ages to grow, so he looked forward to sinking his teeth into that delicious tropical fruit one day. Well, after about 18 months, he could almost taste their sweet flesh. He could see them ripening, and he knew it wasn't going to be long now. He didn't know that he wasn't the only one eyeing those big, almost ripe pineapples. The day came, out he went to cut a couple of those beauties. But there were none there. They were all gone. The fellows who planted them had been watching too. I know just how that man felt. We lived in New Guinea some years ago, and I too watched my pineapple plants with eager anticipation, only to have them vanish without trace from my garden. Oh, the frustration. I love to share, but I don't like having things taken from me. That man was furious. He called the national workers in and he roasted them, and would you believe? You wouldn't believe it, but the same thing happened the very next year. No. He was at his wit's end. He wanted some pineapples. Well, one striking-looking, good-looking, wise national man called a meeting. He said to his friends, "Look, these are not your pineapples. The Tuan paid you to grow them. These are his pineapples. And we all know he's kind and he would share them with you, so I know what you need to do. If you can't stop pinching his pineapples, don't walk past his pineapple patch. Go on around and walk on another path, because if you don't see them, you won't pinch them." It worked. That man enjoyed lots of pineapples from the next crop, and so did the nationals as he shared them. So my first tip if you're trying to kick the sugar habit is, choose to walk another path. I'll illustrate. I met a friend the other day. She said she was trying to kick the chocolate habit. She complained how she could swish and swirl that delicious stuff between her teeth, and before she'd even know it, she'd eaten the whole block all at once. And she'd been doing that every day, with very sad consequences to her health. Well, I'd be exactly the same if I didn't choose a different path when I'm in the supermarket. I simply don't walk down the sweet aisle. I choose another path because I choose to not look at all those tempting morsels. I've got another simple suggestion today if you want freedom from sugar addiction. Here it is. Keep your eye on the freedom prize. Freedom, yes, freedom feels great. Less cavities, less obesity, less diabetes, less depression, less inflammation, less pain, and more happiness. I know because I can say from experience that when I kicked sugar completely to the curb a few years ago, it took me about 10 days. And then I actually didn't want it anymore. I couldn't believe it. The craving really does go away. So why am I preaching to me today? Because sometimes we fall back into old habits. So I need to highlight these tips again today for me too. Freedom, that's what I want. Do you? And remember that Philippians 4:13 reminds us that we don't have to do it alone. We're promised, I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. So choose to walk another path. Tip number 1. Tip number 2, Keep your eye on that freedom prize. That's it from the Two Tip Lady who loves to help make life more simple.